We are live. Hi everyone, welcome back to Code Era. Today in this video we'll be discussing the LeetCode daily challenge for today, that is 7th of Feb. The name of the problem is find the difference. Previously this problem has been asked in organizations like Google. It's also been asked in Facebook. Apart from this, it has also been asked in Amazon. So consider giving me a +1 in the chat if my voice is clearly audible to everyone and my screen is visible, and then we'll start with this particular problem within a couple of minutes. Right, is my voice audible to everyone and the screen is visible? You can just mention that in the comments. I'll just be waiting for your reply in the comment side. Hi Vanshika Kapoor. Okay, so today's problem is a little bit interesting. Like, hi Mahesh. So in this problem, what you will be doing, I'll be telling you. But this particular problem that we'll be doing today, the LeetCode daily challenge for today, that is 7th of Feb. Today's problem has been asked in Google. It has also been asked in Facebook, or you can say Meta, and it has been asked in Amazon, right? So these are the three companies that have asked this question. Hi Samadhan, hi. Okay, so all of you can just give me a +1 in the chat. Shall we begin with the problem? Okay, hi, audible, visible. Thank you, Lalit. Thank you. Okay, so the problem name is find the difference. Okay, the problem name is find the difference. You will be given two strings. You'll be given two strings. One is a string is S and another string is T, right? So what you'll be given is you'll be given one string as S, another string as T, and T is the string which is generated randomly by shuffling the characters of the string S, and then one more character is added at a random position in the string, right? Let's say that the string S is equal to ABCD. If the string S is equal to ABCD, right? If the string S is equal to ABCD, and T can be made as ABCDE, right? So in this case, you can see that I have made T from all the characters of S. First of all the characters of S are there in the string T. Apart from this, one extra character is also there. This is what has been mentioned. Like you can see, the another string T is generated by randomly shuffling the characters of the string S and then adding one more character at any random position, right? It's not necessary that you add the random character at the last or the first. You can add it anywhere, right? So what you have to do is you have to return the character, you have to return the alphabet that was added into the string T, right? Is this part clear to everyone? Is the problem statement clear to everyone? Like in this case, you can see that the character that was added additionally was E. Like if I say that S is equal to something like XYZ, and let's say T is equal to, let's say I say that T is equal to W, let's say T is equal to something like this. Let's say T is equal to Y, then X, then let's say W, and then Z, right? So in this case, what is happening? All the alphabets of the string S are present in the string T, right? All the alphabets of the string S are present in the string T. Like you can see in this case, X is also present, Y is also present, Z is also present, and one additional character is present, and that character is W, right? So I'll print W, I'll return W, right? Is the problem statement clear to everyone? If the problem statement is clear to everyone, you can give me a +1 in the chat so that I can move further. Is the problem statement clear to everybody? Is the problem statement clear to everyone? I hope that it is, right? So this is what you have to do in this particular problem. Now let's say you will be given the string, right? Let's say you will be given the first string S as something like ABCD, like this, and you have been given the second string T as, let's say, something like ABCDE, something like this. So you will say, how will you compare, right? How will you compare? That's the task that lies ahead. Let's say this was a bit jumbled. Let's say it was something like D, then let's say C, then let's say E, then A, then B, something like this, a jumbled string. Like, so first thing that you could do is, first approach one that you could do is approach one. First approach is that you could have done sorting, right? You could have done the thing that is sorting, and you could have compared each character one by one like this, right? That is, if you sort it and ABCD, and then the second string becomes ABCDE, right? So you will be easily able to find out that if a particular ith character is not matching two character array and compare. Yes, that can be done, Lalit. That is perfect. That is one of the approaches, right? Now what will happen, but for that, like if you are comparing randomly, then it would take order of n square if you are using two loops, so that will not be efficient. One way to do it is using sorting like this. Then whichever character is different in the string t, so that will be printed. So sorting approach will take n log n, right? Sorting seems to be very much intuitive to all of us. Now the approach 2 could be, they could be another approach, right? They could be another approach, and this approach is pretty much famous for all of us, right? We like this approach, and that is the concept of hashing. That is the concept of hashing. Let's say the first string has been given to me, that is a b c d, right? The string s that's been given to me, and the string t that has been given to me, let's say it is something like c, then b, then e, then d, then a, something like this, right? So what I can do is I can make two hash maps, right? I can make two hash maps, one hash map for this and second hash map for this, right? Or you can say I can use the concept of hashing. Like, what are the number of a's that are occurring here? A's frequency is 1, b's frequency is 1, c's frequency is 1, d's frequency is 1. Here what is happening? A's frequency of a is 1, b is 1, c is 1, d is 1, and e is 1, right? So whichever character, like you can compare the frequency of both, you can keep on comparing the frequency of both, and like you will see that okay, a's frequency is 1 here and a's frequency is 1 here as well. Then b's frequency is 1, b's frequency is 1, c's frequency is 1, c's frequency is 1, d's frequency is 1, d's frequency is 1. So one extra character that we have is e, right? So I can use the concept of hashing and do this, right? I can iterate through both the strings. It will take order of n time complexity to iterate, and the space complexity would be order of n as well for the hashing part, right? Is this approach clear to everyone? Please give me a +1 in the chat if this approach is also clear to everyone, right? Is this particular approach clear to everyone? That you apply the concept of hashing. Hashing what? You count what are the number of occurrences of a particular character in the first string, a particular character in the second string. You keep on comparing. If there is if a particular character is present more times in t, in that case you will print that directly or you will return it, right? This is one of the approaches. Now there is another approach that we can discuss. What is that approach? So what I can do is I can do another approach. What is that approach? Let me discuss. Like, this is the third approach. After this also we have fourth approach as well for this particular problem. Approach 3 that we can do is concept of sum and difference, right? Sum and difference, or you can say sum difference, right? What does it mean? What does it mean? What I can do is I can have the string s as, let's say, abcd, right? Let's say I have the string s as abcd. Let's say I have the string another string t as, let's say, something like d, let's say b, then e, then c, then a, something like this, right? What I can do is you remember yesterday in the previous problem I told you taking the sum part, right? What I can do is I can take the overall sum of this. Since this string is bigger, this particular string is bigger, right, than this string. So what I could do is I could do something like this. Let me tell you what I will do. So what I'll do is I have the string t, which can be, let's say, d, then c, then b, then let's say e, then a, right? And I have the string s, that is a, then b, then c, then d, right? So I subtract both the things, right? So what I do is, for the ith character I do sum plus is equal to t of I minus s of I, something like this. If I do it like this, right? Or I add all the characters of the first string in my sum and then subtract it, something like this also I can do. What I will do, I'll let you know, right? Let me show you what I'll do. Okay, so what I'll do is I have the t string with me, I have the s string as abcd, right? What I'll do is, first of all, I'll add all the characters in the sum. So what does my sum become? Sum becomes nothing but it will be d plus c plus b plus e plus a, right? This is how it would be. Then what will happen? I'll subtract all these characters. So what is this character? Minus a. This will be minus a, right? So I'll write minus a for this. I'm subtracting. Notice I'm subtracting all these characters. So this would be minus b. This would become minus c. this would become minus d. Now I'll calculate this sum, right? So I have a plus b, I have a minus b, so both cancel each other. I have a plus a, minus a, cancel each other. I have a plus c, I have a minus c, they cancel each other. I have a d, I have a minus d, they cancel each other. So ultimately the sum that is left is e. Does this make sense? That you add all the characters of the final string that you want, and then you subtract all the characters of the initial string, and the one character that is different, you will get that in the sum. Now you will say that how will you return it? So you will be having character, right? In the end you will be returning character, so that is how it will get returned. Like you will just return sum, even then it will be okay. Or if you return it like this, you can return char bracket and then sum. So this will also work, right? Does this make sense? Is this approach clear to everyone? The third approach of using the sum and the taking the difference concept, is this approach also clear to everybody? Please write in the comments. If it's clear to all of you, please write clear in the chat, right? Now there could be another approach for doing this problem. What could be that approach? What could be that approach? First of all, I'll need to give you some brief about it. So there could be a fourth approach for doing this as well. What could be that fourth approach? Fourth approach could be using the concept of nothing but Xor. What do I mean by Xor? Can I use Xor? Yes, I can use Xor. There is a concept, that is, the concept is that if I Xor two values which are same, then the Xor would be 0. Or you can say I'll neglect the Xor. What do I mean by that? So let's say if I have numbers, if I have an array, let's say I have 1, I have 2, I have 3, I have 4. Like first array looks like this. Then let's say the second array looks like 4. Then let's say 2, then 1, then 5, and then 3, like this. Okay, what I can do is I can take the Xor of these elements. So if I Xor, so what will happen if I take the Xor of all these elements? So it will be 1, Xor 2, Xor 3, Xor 4, like this. Okay, or you can say that if I take the Xor like this, so what basically happens is if I do 1 Xor 1, so it would become 0. If I do 2 Xor 2, it will become 0, right? So basically what does that mean? That means that if two elements are same, in that case their Xor would give me 0, right? This is what would happen. So you can see that if the Xor are existing in pair, if the values are existing in pairs, in that case what will happen? In that case I'll definitely be able to neglect these things, right? In that case what will happen? I'll be able to neglect these things. How? What will happen is if I Xor these values, I'm taking the example first of all in terms of numbers, then I'll be telling you in terms of characters as well. So what I have is 1 Xor 1, Xor 2, Xor 2, Xor 3, Xor 3. I'm making the pairs, right? This is the array 1, this is the array 2. Assume, right? What is happening? 1 Xor 1, 2 Xor 2, 3 Xor 3. I'm making the pairs so that you can think it in an easier manner. Xor 5. Also one more thing, if you Xor 0 with any number, like if you Xor 0 with, let's say 0 Xor 1 will give me 1. Okay, this is what the thing is, right, for the bit part. So I hope that this which part is clear to you. So what will happen in this part is, like this will become 0, this will become 0, this will become 0, this will become 0. So 0 Xor 0 Xor 0 Xor 0 Xor 5, ultimately the answer would be 5. And what do I get? This is nothing but the concept of getting if there is one unique element, right? If both the arrays have equal number of elements, every element is equal except one element. If one element is extra and all the other elements are duplicate, right? This 1 is existing here as well as here, right? This 2 is existing here as well as here. This 4 is existing here as well as here. One element 5 is not existing anywhere, right? So that's why it will not have a pair. Since 5 is not having a pair, so that's why what will happen? 5 is not having a pair, so 5 will remain in the end. And all the other characters will get neutralized. All the other numbers will get neutralized. So similarly, all the characters will also get neutralized. So what are you saying? So you will Xor each character of S and T and return the char. Yeah, right. Yeah, this is what I'll do. Right. So what I'm saying is, let's say I have the string S. Let's say I have the string T. The string T can be D, then A, then let's say E, then let's say C and B, something like this. And the string S is A, B, C, D. Right. What I'm saying is, you Xor. You take the Xor. So I'm making pairs so that things are much more easier for us. As I told you, right? That would mean that A Xor A would be equal to 0, right? As it was the case in numbers. you can apply the Xor concept in characters as well. For each character also you can apply. So this is what will happen. If the characters are same, so the Xor would be 0. And if there is one unique element, so that would be left because it will not be having any pair. If the characters are existing in pairs, so they will get neutralized, they will get cancelled. But if the character is existing uniquely, if there is just one occurrence of a character, then in that case that particular character would remain till the end, and that would be my answer. So what does this mean? This means that I'll do A, Xor B, something like this. I'm showing you like this so that you can understand in a better manner. Xor C, Xor D, and Xor E, right? So you will be able to observe that this would be 0, this would be 0, all these would be neglected, right? And in the end, the character E would be left. So that would be my answer, right? That would be the answer that would be the character that I want to return. I'll return E. Is this much part clear to everyone? If this much part is also clear to everyone, please give me a +1 in the chat. So these are the approaches that I have. First of all, what you could do is, like, there could be 5 approaches. First approach could be that you take order of n square time, right? You start from the first array. Like you could take order of n square time. You iterate through the first string and then check for each character if that character is present, or things like that. Okay, but this is very foolish to do. Another thing that you could do is you could sort and then check. So sorting would take n log n time. This I was telling as the approach 1. Now the approach number 2 could be you use the concept of nothing but hash maps, right? If you use the concept of hash map, so if you are using the concept of hash map, so basically to count the frequencies, right? Frequencies, you are counting frequencies of every character, and whichever character is having one extra frequency, so you are returning that character, right? So in this case, the time complexity would be order of n, and the space complexity would be also order of n. Now the third approach could be the sum and the difference concept, right? Sum and the difference concept, taking the sum of the first larger string that is having one extra character and then subtracting the corresponding original string, right? In that characters of the original string. In that case, you will get it in order of n time and order of 1. Space complexity, right? Time complexity would be order of n, space would be order of 1. Now there could be a fourth approach as well, and that is the approach of using Xor. Xor can be applied on characters as well as the Xor concept. Xor is the fastest, I think. Xor will be the fastest. Xor will be the fastest. Why? Because Xor works on bits, right? So that's why it's the fastest. So this approach also takes order of n, but it is the fastest. Xor approach takes order of n and the space complexity is of order of 1, right? Does this make sense? Now in the description of this video, I have provided, as it was mentioned by all of you, so I have provided the Java, as well as the C++ code for sum and difference concept, and number 2 Xor concept. For both the concepts, I have provided Java as well as C++ code, and I'll be you can give me a +1 in the chat if everything is clear to all of you, right? Now the thing is I'll show you what will happen. Like you are adding the character t and then you are subtracting it, and one character extra of the t will be left. So in that case, I will add it here. Like I have done this just to do it in one loop in C++, but you can do it other way also, and you just return sum plus a or something like that. Now if you are doing it using the concept of Xor, so you take a character, you first of all Xor all the values of the first string, then you Xor all the values of the second string, and then in the end you just return R. In the end you simply return R. That is the character, one last character that will be extra. It would be get returned, right? Because you are consistently taking the Xor, and every character which is existing in pair would get cancelled. One unique character that is left will get done, right? Will get done. Now if you are doing this in Java, so that's also very easy. Only thing you have to do is you have to use, instead of you cannot access it by s of I, so you will access it by s dot caret of I. So c Xor is equal to s dot caret of I. Another thing, c Xor is equal to s dot caret I. This is for the first string, original string. This is for the second string, which is having one character extra, right? So that's why I'll return the character, that is the Xor, that is the one unique character that I have. No, you don't need to. You can do it like this also in Xor terms. Okay, you can apply Xor on characters as well. Okay, so this was the code. Has everyone understood this problem? I told you that this particular problem, so it was important for me to tell you all the 4 approaches, right? So you can try to write the code in all the 4 approaches as I have told you. Okay. all the four approaches that I have told you. That is, the first approach was using the concept of sorting. It took order of n log n. Another approach was using the concept of hash maps, right? So it took me order of n time and order of n space. Another approach was using the sum and the difference concept, right? Sum and difference concept that we had discussed in the previous problem of the day as well, right? Thank you, Mahesh. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Samadhan. Right. That would take order of n space time and order of one space. Right. The last approach that we could have is Xor approach. It would take order of n time, but it would be the fastest and order of one space. Right. So these are the four approaches. This particular problem, as I said, it was asked in Google. It was asked in Google, it was asked in Meta, or you say Facebook, and it was also asked in Amazon. So that's why I always emphasize that you should be doing the problem of the day or the LeetCode daily challenge every day, so that it helps you to get better. And what is the thing that I'm providing here? We are discussing it live, and what we are doing, we are also telling you that which companies this problem has been asked, so that you can get confidence. Like, okay, next time you encounter such problem, or your problem solving capacity, your thinking capacity will increase. You will get to know new techniques, new implementation ways, right? Things like these. So this was the problem. If everyone is happy with the solution, so you can give me a clear plus plus in the chat in the end, so that I can just be satisfied that everything is clear to you. If there is someone who is not clear with anything, I'm here for 30 seconds more. You can mention that in the comments as well. I'll be looking into it, and after this stream is over, you can mention, you can maybe share it with your friends if you think that the solution is worth it, the solution is deep enough, other compared to other YouTube videos or other resources. So you can mention, you can share it with your friends if you like it. Also, you can suggest your friends to subscribe the channel if they are also into competitive coding, if they are also into problem solving, things like these. So this was the problem of the day for today. We'll meet tomorrow with another problem of the day, that is another LeetCode daily challenge. Also, I'll be bringing the LeetCode weekly challenge, right? You see there, you will observe that there is one more thing, that is LeetCode weekly problem challenge. I'll show it to you here. So there is another thing, that is LeetCode weekly problem, right? This weekly premium problem, can you see this? Can you all see this weekly premium problem? Right, there is this week LeetCode weekly premium thing. So I'll be also bringing the videos for this as well, right? So probably today only I'll be recording and doing it, or maybe tomorrow I'll be letting you know. So this is also something that we'll be doing. So thanks a lot everyone for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like button, so share it with your friends, and keep coding guys. Thanks a lot. I'll see you in the next live.